You can read about Chocoloza on their website, but it's tastier to drop by their Mill Park workshop. Here, they encourage visitors to watch their handmade chocolates being crafted by an all-woman team, including founder Vicky Bain.
Smells amazing in here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's very sad. It's an occupational hazard. We can't smell it anymore.
You've got an incredible story about how you actually got into the chocolate industry.
Yeah, it was a bit of a happy accident, to be honest. My background is environmental law and sustainability, and that career kind of took me to Paris, and from Paris to Belgium. And while I was in Belgium, I discovered a chocolatier whose chocolates I loved. They were beautiful, and I said to him, "What's the difference between yours and everybody else's?" And he said, "Well, you know, we make it all fresh. We use fresh cream, fresh fruit, very little sugar, and that's key because sugar kind of masks the flavor." And then at one point I saw an advert for an evening class for chocolate, and that evening, standing in that chocolate class in a language and a country that was not my own, I just fell in love. It was like when you meet someone you know that person is going to be your friend forever, it just clicks. That was me and chocolate.
And you took all that knowledge from overseas, you came back and you built a proudly South African chocolate factory.
Absolutely. So the idea was to do a seriously Belgian, naturally African, which is our slogan. So we use Belgian chocolate, we use the Belgian way of doing it. I've trained my entire team how to do things. And naturally African, so it's a chocolatier's dream to be able to combine our fresh fruits, our creams, our nuts, because we have the best fruit in the world, hands down. So to be able to take that and combine that with what I think is the best chocolate in the world, in the country I love most, is perfect.
And now the most important question, how long before you ask me to go back and check out the chocolates, because I can't stand the smell anymore, I need to go.
I'll take you back there and we can smell it, no worries.
Okay, cool.
With their Belgian chocolate, Vicky insists they use fair trade coffee, seasonal local fruits, and that they champion local flavors like granadilla.
John, let me introduce you to Bronwyn.
Hi, Bronwyn.
Oh, how are you?
How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
Good.
And let me introduce you to our granadilla passion.
It's so shiny.
It's beautiful, yeah. So it's made with fresh South African granadillas, lots of love and passion, and pure cocoa butter. So it's one of our zestier ones. It's got quite a kick. It's not too sweet. One of the most favorites that people ask for, and Bronwyn's going to show you how to make it.
Okay, welcome to my little cooking area here. Okay, so I've got some granadilla puree that I've reduced, and then I've got some cream and glucose that I'm going to add into there.
So sticky.
Yes, it is. Okay, and then afterwards, just give it a quick mix.
Okay. All the smells in here are
Fresh ingredients, that's what they do.
Every corner of this place has different smells that are like all the best smells in the world in one place, right?
There are no preservatives or artificial flavors, and they won't use palm oil because of its effect on the environment. Their process is open for all to see.
It's also important to let everyone know that we haven't just thrown random ingredients into here. Everything is very calculated. You need to get the exact temperatures right, the exact amount of ingredients right, otherwise it just won't work.
Exactly, and a lot of girl power.
And don't forget the gold power.
So I'm going to switch to a spatula because a whisk makes a lot of bubbles. I'm sure you can see the bubbles.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason why we want to remove the bubbles is because they create air pockets. Okay. And it's not good for when we are molding chocolate.
Okay, can I help you there?
Sure.
I'm not encroaching on your gold power. I'm just,
no worries
I just
at
want to
all.
help. I'm just going to get these bubbles out for you.
That's a lot of manpower, actually.
There we go. Okay, so when the bubbles are gone, then what? Is it ready? And we know it's ready to go.
It's ready, but we need to let it cool down.
Okay.
Yes.
Natural food coloring is used to coat these molds, and once the chocolates are set, they don't freeze them. Each one is freshly made.
So as you can see, the chocolate is coming out. How beautiful is that? Okay, so I'm going to cover the mold in chocolate. Scrape off the excess chocolate. Vibrate it a little bit.
So that's to get the bubbles out, right?
Exactly, empty it out. So we're making the shell.
Okay, so here's a delicious ganache we made earlier. It's got to cool down a little bit, nice consistency, which is perfect for what we need. And we're going to pour that into so we can pipe it, right?
Yes, we can pipe it.
Okay,
so we're just going to pour it
there?
into this piping bag.
Look how nice and thick that is now.
All right, that's enough.
Okay.
Okay, so the idea is you need to fill it to a certain level. If it's too full, you won't be able to close it. So right now, it needs to sit for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we can close it afterwards. So we just loosen the edges a bit, and then...
Look at that. I think this is my batch. Yeah?
Go ahead.
Got the color perfect, nice and shiny.
Well done.
Let's give it a taste. It's so fresh though.
That's the good thing about using fresh ingredients. The flavors come out right.
You can really taste the difference. That's amazing. Grenadilla and white chocolate, what a combination.
It adds to the sense of enjoyment knowing that all of the milk, cream and butter used here is organic, especially since they're not shy with their butter. With the studio and this whole process behind glass and on view to customers, buying chocolate becomes a total experience.
Whoa, what's happening here?
So this is the wonderful process.
Volcano going on here.
It's a caramel volcano. Amor and Joyce are making our fresh salted caramel. The butter that we put in there is what gives our caramel its creaminess. So we put as much butter in as we can. Butter is normally 82% fat, butter fat, which gives it that lovely creamy flavor that you've got in there. It does mean that it doesn't last very long because we're using fresh ingredients and some...
Getting a bit overexcited.
That actually happens towards the end. So when you get the explosion, is like, finally we're done with caramel. Now we're gonna have to wait for it to cool down.
The crew love a challenge, and they're often commissioned to whip up new flavors and combinations for special occasions. It keeps the team excited.
What is your policy here with like tasting and like on the job, just if I had to like...
As long as it's hygienic, knock yourself out.
Really? So you can... I don't know how
We
people...
eat a fair amount of chocolates during the day.
I can imagine. I wouldn't be able to resist like picking
We
at
had a lady
everything.
who came in last week and said to us, how do you guys not eat chocolates every day? To which I answered, where did that assumption come from?
I just like all the fillings. That's what I would eat.
It really is the kind of thing that takes you along. After a while, you get into the zone of kind of filling snobbinets, yeah.
It's crazy. And you just completed an order of, what, 180,000 chocolates?
Yeah.
Imagine doing 180,000 of these by hand. This is proper handmade chocolate,
It's proper
right?
handmade, yeah. Okay, so these are our roast macadamia nuts. We get our macadamias from a farm out on KZN on the coast. And as you can see, we've coated them in cocoa butter. That's the coating around them. So they're coated in pure cocoa butter and smoked sea salts.
Beyond just allowing you to watch the process, the workshop hosts chocolate adventure evenings, which include blind tasting, letting you try your hand in the workshop and taking your creations home. Jonathan felt honored he'd been allowed to join this all-girl A-team, even if only for a day.
See, I'm getting the hang of it now, right? No,
I think you might need to come back a bit to practice.
I'll totally come back and practice. You won't have any ingredients left, though.
Thank you.
Finishing touches.
Yep.
A little bit of a sprinkle on the top. Just a bit, right?
Just a little bit in the middle, yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
There you go.
Shall we do a little taste?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Happy salty tangos.
Thank you.
There you go. That's fine.
All the different flavors. Feel them coming through. The nut is nice and dry in the middle. That's beautiful, man. And you know what? I appreciate it so much more because I know what goes into it now. I think everyone at home realizes how much love and effort go into these little homemade chocolates.
Absolutely, yeah.
You'll find your own escape into this world of chocolate at 44 Stanley in Mill Park.